Claim your message and the powerful words to convey it. I am so happy that you are here joining me, spending part of your valuable time with me. And I am really excited about what I have to share with you. So hopefully you can hear me, and feel free to use the chat box to send me messages. I will be sharing with you some content and some exercises, and so definitely take notes. And also know that you will have access to this replay, so you will be able to go through the recording, see what we have to um, see the exercises, because there are some really valuable exercises. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And again, I'm just really happy that you're here. So let's go. All right. So, for those of you who don't know me, I am Dawn Schuler, the content creator extraordinaire. I am a business coach and strategist with a focus on content creation. And that line right there is very important, not just because I want you to know who I am and what I do, but it is going to be the example that I use for you through some of the exercises that I show you. I also customize and lead programs for corporations and organizations so that they can work on their writing and communication skills at all levels, from emails to customer service to website to how they interact with their potential clients and customers. At a deeper level, I help people uncover their deeper message and clarify that message to then translate it into words. I'm an author and speaker, a mother and partner to, and then wait, oh my gosh, I'm a mother. I'm going to have to change that. I just realized I'm a mother to two lovely daughters and a partner to an amazing man. I don't think he'd be very happy if I were, somewhat implying that I was his mother. And the thing that I'd like to share with you all is that, like you, I am on the ever evolving journey. And that's really important to what we're going to be talking about today, because who we are and what we do, essentially our brand, is ever evolving, because we and our businesses are ever evolving. So, our message, what we put out into the world, what we say it is that we do, who we are, that needs to adjust to our evolution. So, the process and some of the exercises I'm going to show you today, you can use over and over and over. This isn't a one-time thing. Oh, I've got my message, my brand, woohoo, I'm good, and never to have to visit again. Sorry to say, that is so not the case. The other thing I want to say before we get started is that my three top values are connection, authenticity, and sacred space. And especially two of those, the connection and the authenticity, are part of the reasons why it is so important for that message, that branding message, to be clear. It comes from who we really are and what it is we really do. That's the authentic piece. And then with that brand, with that message, then we can connect. And it's through that connection and authenticity that our businesses thrive. And then the little bit of spin I guess I put on that with my third value, sacred space, is that is what I strive to create for my clients, my customers, people in my programs, is I want to create a beautiful, safe, sacred space for them to be able to delve into that, who are they really? All right, so let's get started. Absolutely crucial for your successful business is to be able to speak and write clearly about who you are and what you do. You need to paint a clear, crystal clear picture to people you connect with emotions and just powerful words and phrases that really resonate with them. That's where the connection piece comes in. And then once you have that crucial message, that's what needs to weave its way through all your content and all your marketing. It's really more than I do blah, blah, blah. I am a blah, blah, blah. So it's really more than, I do chiropractic work, or I work with women and children in my health practice, or I I do accounting, or I do bookkeeping, or I am a bookkeeper, or I am an accountant. It needs to be more than that. Yes, that's what you do, but for those of us who are entrepreneurs and own our own businesses, what's crucial is to go deeper than that. And that's actually where we're going to start with the first message, when I'm calling the Claim Your Message exercise 1. And that is, what do you want to be known for? So if people are talking about you, good things, we all hope, good things, what is it that you want them to say about you? Oh, that Jane Smith, she is awesome at fill in the blank. I'll go back to the chiropractor exercise. I have an amazing chiropractor. Oh, Dr. Tedesco is a fabulous chiropractor who does more than just adjust my joints. She really listens to me and she pays attention to my body, and she does this amazing, gentle, non jarring work. That's a bit of a longer fill in the blank statement, but you can see it's more than Dr. Tedesco is a chiropractor. I know she probably wants to be known as that chiropractor who really cares about her clients and their health and their well being. And she's going to be as gentle as she can in bringing them to their fullest health. I'll have to share that with her. Actually, she would probably really appreciate that. So, as you're asking this question, what do you want to be known for? Go as deep as you can and keep asking yourself, why is that important? I took myself through this exercise a couple of years ago, and I don't have it in front of me, but some of the things I came up with first, because the first things are the kind of the top level, that top of the surface answers. So it would be things like, I'm a great writer, I'm a great coach, da da da. And I kept going, well, why is that important? It's got to be more than just I'm a writer, or I'm a coach, or I understand about business foundation and strategies and procedures and all that. What is it that I really wanted to be known for? And I kept drilling down, drilling down, drilling down to this statement of, I really want people to see how amazing they are, and then put that amazingness out into the world through the content they create. And so that was quite a bit different from, well, I'm a writing coach, or I'm a business coach. It was what that deeper piece of what I really wanted to be known for. So that's first part of your exercise. Exercise number 1. What do you want to be known for? As you're feeling that out, you might have to ask yourself, well, what is it that you do? Really? Again, I'm not just a bookkeeper or a social media manager or an HR executive, but what is it that you do really? What are the benefits that people get from working with you? What's the experience people get from working with you? There's a great exercise I use in some of my deeper programs, which is called "What is the experience you're selling?" And it talks about, for example, Mary Kay uh, representatives. They're not selling makeup; they are helping women feel beautiful. My favorite clothing store is Chico's, and their brand philosophy is that they want to make women feel beautiful. They don't just sell clothes. The experience is they want women to feel beautiful. So think about that. What is the experience that you're giving when you work with your clients and customers? what is it that they get? What's that deeper? See, we're always going deeper. What's that deeper piece that they get? And then another piece of this is, what are your natural talents and gifts? Now, these are the things that may seem to be easy and natural. That's when you go, um, doesn't everybody do this? And you soon figure out, no, not everybody does that. And so you start to realize, oh, I guess that's maybe just a natural gift that I have. Yes. All right. Now, if some of these questions that you're asking yourself, like what is it that I do really? What are my natural talents and gifts? If you can't figure that out, then part, this is your second exercise, and that's ask people. Ask people what the experience was of working with you. Ask your friends and colleagues, people maybe that you go to the same networking groups you've known for years. Maybe you sit on a board with them. Ask them, what is it that you see valuable in me? And I know that can be a really scary question to ask because we're a little afraid of the answer. But those answers are going to be gold to you. So that really is, you ask people. And I'm going to say more about that in a little bit. The next exercise that I want to share with you is my successes. And you might find that this is a little easier than, coming up with, well, what is it that I really do for people? And it is to really go through and see what is it that I've done that I'm really proud of? What what have I created? What successes with my clients have I done that they're so pleased with, and that um, therefore I'm also proud of? And more than likely, you really have successes. And it's not, it doesn't have to just be business, actually. It could be personal or in your volunteer life. Write down as many things. I only show 5 just because my screen, it can only go so far. But in the exercise, when I do this with my clients, is I ask them to do at least 10. And again, everything, business, life, volunteer, whatever. The reason why you can bring in everything is because you are you. You're not just you in your business or you in your life or you when you sit on this volunteer board. You're you. Your gifts, strengths, talents, skills, those are going to come through no matter what. This exercise is great for what we're doing, that claim your message. And it's also a really great exercise to do on a regular basis. A little bit different, but somewhat related. Mark, my husband, and I, every 3 months, we try to do it on the equinoxes and the solstices, just because we love the uh, that natural energy of the earth. We go through and we write down everything we've accomplished, and it could be things like, I cleaned out the linen closet. That is on the list from the last one that we did, and I organized it. It could be, I launched a new program. I finished that book series. Began I began blogging on a regular basis and was consistent. Whatever. That is something we do so that we start tallying all of our amazingness. This particular exercise, the I am successful, this is to really be more specific and detailed, so that's going to help you see how amazing you are. All right, there's another part. Claim your message, exercise 4. And this is where I want you to, as you think about your successes, I want you to see if you can find a pattern. are there some connecting threads or similar threads that weave through all of these things? Maybe it's your ability to see patterns or your ability to strategize or creating a sacred space, whatever that might be. What are your what's that what are the common threads that are weaving through those successes? And I've got a little pie chart here just to show that there may be these different sections of the pie for you to fill out. And then there's me. This is what makes me. The clearer you are about what it is you do and the value you provide, then of course, the more clearly you can convey that and talk to others about that. So these exercises are designed to get you clearer and clearer and clearer and on a deeper level. All right. So here is where we put it all together in what I call a purposeful work statement. And this is the equation. And you may have seen versions of this, or you've done something like this. You might recognize it as the quick little elevator speech. You want it to be one, as concise as possible, two, as powerful as possible, three, compelling, four, to create that picture. You're painting that picture for people you talk to. I was at a networking event and uh, we were supposed to write down kind of a description of who we are. And of course, I'm the only one who did it, probably because I was that good student in school and I did everything I was told to do. And nobody else did it. And this woman was like, well, I didn't know what to write. And I said, okay, you know, I am and I know I said earlier not to say that, but we were trying to do it fast. And she said, I am an acupuncturist. And I said, and you work with people who, and she said, who are in pain. And I said, so that they can. And she filled in the blank with, so they can lead happier, healthier lives. What I think something like that. Fabulous. Great. So sometimes it can be an easy equation to fill in the blanks, but then anytime you can go deeper. There's a woman, Shelley Campbell, who wrote The Wealthy Spirit, and I think it's called From Zero to Zillionaire. And she just came out with the third book. But she talks about how when she was going to networking meetings, and she'd say, I do bookkeeping, and people's eyes glazed over, and blah, blah, blah. And then she started using different words, different phrases like, I help people reduce their stress around finances. Or I help people remove their financial stress. And she said the reaction was just amazing. There was, their eyes lit up. And she said one woman even hugged her like, oh my gosh, thank you. I've been looking for you. So anytime you can go to that deeper level, what is it that you really do? That is going to help you. What I can say about why this is important is, for those of you who know me and have followed me, you probably see my stuff on Facebook. You see my blogs. You've seen the programs that I've launched, and I feel like I'm all over. I'm all over Facebook and social media, and I talk about creating content for your business. I have felt that my message has been very clear. Well, what I found as I've been talking to more and more people lately is that they'll say, oh, you help people write fiction books, don't you? And I kind of do this sigh and go, not really. I mean, I have, but that's not my focus. That's not where I shine. It's really working with business owners. And I realized there is something about my message that has not been clear. And I struggled with that. I've struggled with really claiming my own message. Part of it was because I didn't want to be like everybody else, or I didn't want to get lost in the shuffle. I had a business coach say, "Well, you should really market yourself as more of a marketing coach because you know so much about marketing and you do marketing." And I thought about that and sort of tried a little bit, but you can probably tell by my voice that it was like I wasn't really feeling it. And part of it was because, well, I don't do just marketing. And I believe that if there's a saturation of marketing coaches. Everybody's a marketing coach. Um, how am I going to stand out? So I really resisted that whole marketing and business and whatever. And it's like, well, I'm a writing coach, but then what that said to people was that I help people write fiction books. All right. Well, okay, now what? I'll be the content creator extraordinary. Help people create content. And then one woman said, "Oh, you're a ghostwriter and you write people's content for them." Another sigh. Oh, no, I do more than that. One of the things I hope you notice about this is that clarity and my understanding that I needed to work on my message came from talking with people. Because people didn't just come out on Facebook and say, "Oh, so Dawn, you're that person who works with, um, if we work with fiction writers." They didn't say that. They just sort of would look at my stuff and they had this idea. And so, blah, okay, all right, that's off you go. They weren't doing that. It only came from having these conversations. I see a question and I want to go ahead and answer it with this exercise. Christy asks, "What if we do two things? Do we have two separate statements?" Yes, I would say so. Unless there is no way that you can bring that under the same umbrella. So, but if you can't bring it under the same umbrella, then I would say, of course, you have your two different statements, and you're going to create the content and market yourself two specific different ways. And that's where that gets a little hard. Um, some of the things that I'm doing are somewhat, let's call them metaphysical. I have a writing in the chakras class. Well, how does that fit under I'm a business coach and strategist with the focus on content creation? It sort of fits because it's content creation, right? Writing. Uh, we know, because I've said in this deeper conversation, that authenticity and connection and sacred space are really important. My website is writingfromyoursoul.com. So you could see how that fits. But I also know that it sort of doesn't seem to fit with the strategy, the business coach and strategist with the focus on content creation. So that's something that I may market just to individuals, because I'm also thinking of doing that as a workshop here at my house. So I'm not going to market that necessarily all over social media to my list, whatever, because it's going to be for a small group, 5 people, and it's just going to be here at my house. Um, so that's a really great question. To sum up, just be very careful that if you have two sides of your business, to keep them as separate as possible, even going as far as to having separate websites. I had a meeting this morning with she's a training consultant and she does keynote speaking. And that's her main, what she calls her corporate website. She has another website that's based on the first book she wrote, and it's really more about female empowerment. Now, since her training and consultant business is more geared toward companies, organizations, corporations, it doesn't mean she can't ever talk about women empowerment. But with those companies, organizations, corporations, there's obviously a mix, women and men. So she really tries to be very clear about, is this a corporate product or workshop or thing, or does this go under the women empowerment umbrella? So I hope that helped. All right. So you want to work on this purposeful work statement all the time. Tweak it because you're going to evolve. You change, you learn more, you decide you want to meander in this particular direction and work with this particular industry or niche. You gain new skills, you get more clear on what it is you really like to do, and you decide, I'm going to let go of these three things. I don't want to do those anymore, but I really love doing these two things. This purposeful work statement needs to adjust while you adjust. So now what? Well, now this is the success strategy, is to develop your magic question. And this is, as you are talking to people, you find out what it is that what their pain is. So these are a couple of examples of my, what I call my magic questions. What is the number one goal that you haven't been able to achieve? And then the person would answer and give me feedback. And I might hear a little bit about why she hasn't been able to reach that goal. What are your big plans for your business? And the person would answer and say, oh, I really want to, blah, blah, blah. And in her description of that, she might say why she hasn't done that yet, or fears that she has, whatever. Where are you going next? Where are you taking your business next? It's another way to say, what are your big plans? But sometimes we ask the questions differently. And then, obviously this is a Dawn magic question. They're all Dawn magic questions, but you can really see the Dawn in this one. What amazing content do you wish you could create if no one were looking? So those are the kinds of questions that I would ask. Now, I'm asking these questions. When do these questions get asked? Well, here is the rub, so to speak. Once you have your purposeful work statement, you have to see if it works. Does it resonate with people? There is no way around this. In other words, you have to interact with the real world to see if it resonates with the real world. What that really means is you have to talk to people. And I don't mean sending out an email. And I also don't mean sending out a survey. I mean getting on the phone, going to networking events, setting up one-on-one meetings, teas, coffees, lunches, whatever, and have deeper conversations. You can ask these magic questions as part of those deeper conversations, but it's really only going to be the only way for you to get feedback on whether your purposeful work statement makes their eyes light up. Not just because they could be a potential client or customer, and we love those, so that's a good thing, but just if in general, do they get it? And if they're not getting it, then you need to go back and tweak some more. I have to say that my getting clearer and clearer and clearer has amped up 10 times in the last month, because I've made a commitment to having conversations with people. And now my excuse, we could say, although it's not really an excuse, it was really the reason, was to say, hey, my focus on my business has changed, or I've gotten a little clearer on that, and I'm really trying to spread the word about what it is that I do. And then I tell them what it is I do, and I get feedback. I listen. So this success strategy has multiple parts. It's having real conversations with people, asking your magic question, and then listening. Oh, and then the last part of that would be tweaking and adjusting as needed. This will serve you so very well. So the more that you can get clear on who you are, what it is you do, the experience that you create for people. That's that claiming your message piece. And then going out in the real world and testing it, that's how you're going to find those powerful words to convey it. Because what I can say is the answers to these questions here, that's going to give you your powerful words and phrases. Oh, I know I should write a blog and I don't know how to get started. I don't know what to write about. That's why I have a whole class on blogging and how to figure out what to write. I have exercises and worksheets because that's what I hear all the time, because I talk to people and I hear that that's one of their challenges, one of their stumbling blocks. But that would only be if I asked the questions and I listened. All right, so now you have a process. You have all those exercises, the 5 exercises plus the success strategy, the multi-part success strategy. What content can you feel that you want to create? And there's so much. There's so much that you could do. I know for me, becoming more clear on my purposeful work statement, I've realized I actually need to tweak a lot of my content. I need to update my bio in all these places, right? My newsletter, my website, of course, all the social media outlets. Uh, Easing articles in the resource box. I thought, oh my gosh, all those places. But I need to make sure that that message is consistent and weaving through everything I create, everything I put out there. So, these are the 3 steps to creating that powerful content. Number 1 is know your message. And that's what we've been working on today. Number 2 is plan your content in alignment with your business goals. Going back to the blog example, if I have somebody who comes to me and says, well, my business coach said I should blog, so I'm coming to you to help me figure out how to get started, what I should write about. I would actually ask some deeper questions. Well, why do you want to blog? I'd also ask what her goals were for her business. And if some of the things were like list building or visibility or whatever, then the blogging might fit in, especially if that was something that appealed to her. She liked the idea of blogging. She hated blogging, or she hated writing, or she did not want to commit to writing, 1, 2, or 3 times a week. That's not really in alignment with her goals. So you don't just write content willy-nilly. It really needs to be in alignment with what your goals are for your business. And then, of course, you write it. Easier said than done, right? But I have something that will help hopefully solve a lot of these issues, stumbling blocks, whatever you want to say. And it's my content creation bootcamp starting August 3rd. And my cute little tagline is "Let your content be all that it can be." Sometimes I do try to have fun and be as clever as I think I can be. What I want to say, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. It is a training, online lab, support, mentoring, and feedback to help you in real time create the most meaningful and powerful content for your business. It's a 2-week boot camp. And what you get from that is 5 sessions. 1 is a powerful content training, 2 content writing labs, parts 1 and 2, and then 2 open Q&A, open office hours where we can actually work virtually on whatever content that it is you're working on. Downloadable video and audio recordings of all the sessions, any slides that are used in the trainings, the content creation bootcamp workbook, including exercises, scripts, templates, and models. And that's where I almost got ahead of myself. This is one of the worksheets that we use as an assessment for helping you figure out what content you might want to work on. What you really get is where I take you by the hand in creating your purposeful work statement. We went through that and we have all these exercises, but I would actually do that in a bit of a deeper way through some of the training. coaching around your blocks and blind spots, help narrowing down the content project you'll work on in the boot camp, because my goal for you is to finish this boot camp and actually have a piece of content, whatever that might be. And it could be a sales page, it could be an updated, new and refreshed bio, it could be a speaker one sheet, it could be your signature speaking topic all fleshed out. It could be the outline of a new free gift that's with your new brand, your new message. Um, there are so many options, and this is where I can help you figure out what it is that you want to be working on, because what's going to help you reach your bigger goals. So I have some assessments and questionnaires that will help with that as well. Templates and models for almost any kind of business content piece you could write. I've been in business for over 12 years. I've worked with dozens and dozens and dozens of businesses. I've seen just about every kind of content that one could produce. I've got examples and templates and models for just about anything I could think of. And so that is something that's very valuable that I could share with you. Feedback on the actual content you create in the boot camp. I thought about doing just a 3-session series on content. I thought, you know what I really want is I want people to actually be able to produce something. And what if, as part of that producing something, they got my feedback on it, which is something that my coaching clients get from me. And, they love that. That's part of why they coach with me, is so that I'll give them feedback and review, and we'll work on the pieces that we need to work on. But you can actually get that as part of working with me in this boot camp. Accountability from me and the group to keep you on track with your goals and commitments. I'm actually going to have help you create an action plan, a content action plan, and have some things that are going to help hold you accountable. And then, of course, at the end, having created powerful content that will move you forward toward your biggest business goals. So it starts August 3rd, and there's the regular price is $597. I've got early bird pricing right now through, I think, July 15th. But for those of you who are on the webinar and get the replay, if you register by midnight Eastern on Wednesday, July 1st, which, that's tomorrow, because today when I'm giving this webinar live, it's July 29th. No, June 30th. Sorry. I did my math all wrong there. So if you register by midnight Eastern by Wednesday, July 1st, you can save an additional $100 and get the boot camp for only $397. And if you do that, use your coupon code CLAIM to save $100 off the full payment price. And you can see the URL there at the bottom. It's writingfromyoursoul.com/bootcamp. And I'm not going to make you run miles and miles and miles. I'm not going to make you do any obstacle courses. You do not have to crawl through mud. But you do, if you want to create some content, then this may be the ideal program for you. And if so, I hope to write with you during the boot camp. Regardless, thank you so much for being part of the Claim Your Message training today. Again, I know you have a lot of choices of where to spend your time. And so the fact that you spent some of your time with me means a lot. So go off, create some content, especially that purposeful work statement. And I will see you again next time. Take care.